did Jim Jones just deliver a bombshell that no one saw coming? Chrissy Lampkin, the lady who's gone through it all with him, is in tears, but not because of love, but because of a devastating revelation that's rocking their world to the core. Is this DNA test result the end of their fairy tale, or is there something even more sinister at work here? You might want to sit down for this, because what we're about to disclose will leave you doubting all you thought I heard about these two newborn DNA findings. But not just any DNA results. What's really going on behind the scenes of their beautiful family image? Is it all a deception or simply a massive misunderstanding? Celebrity drama, this is the type of scandal that'll have the internet buzzing for days. Chrissy Lampkin, who's never shy away from a challenge, is rocked by the truth that's now out in the open, and Jim Jones, well, he's looking like the cat that ate the canary. What's the true tale behind this surprising revelation? Stay closely, because we've got all the juicy information that'll have you doubting whether the love tale everyone is talking about was constructed on a fragile foundation. What's the truth and what's just for show? Let's dig into the turmoil. So let's rewind for a second. Jim Jones, the Harlem rapper with the reputation that precedes him, has been in the public eye for years. Whether it's for his unforgettable contributions to the rap game or his extremely famous romance with the one and only Chrissy Lampkin, there's no doubting that these two have been the topic of innumerable headlines. But this is who could have imagined that the couple who only recently shared their happy baby news with the world would be at the heart of a DNA scandal that's had everyone talking. Yes, you heard it correctly. Out comes a newborn in tears. It seems like a plot twist from out of a soap opera, right? But no, this is real life, or at least that's what we're supposed to think. So let's get real here. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been Chrissy is now breaking down in tears after Jim Jones reveals this news about their newborn's DNA test. It didn't take long for whispers to start circulating. People were perplexed. Was this some kind of PR ploy, or was something more darker going on behind the scenes? Chrissy Lampkin, known for her tough, no-nonsense approach, was not only in tears but also appeared to be ready to flip the script on all we thought we knew about their family dynamic. And Jim Jones, well, let's just say he's been a master of holding his cards close to his chest. But this was something different, a bombshell, delivered with a straight face that had the internet and Chrissy absolutely shaken. For a couple that's been vocal about their troubles, their relationship has always had its fair share of ups and downs. You recall the days of the will they drama, don't you? It wasn't so long ago that many were wondering whether these two were ever going to take the leap and ultimately get married. And they did, but just when it looked like they were living the ideal existence with a gorgeous kid to boot, here comes the DNA test that threatens to wreck it all. The question on everyone's lips right now is what's actually going on here. As far as the world knew, Jim and Chrissy had a perfect little family. Their kid was the fruit of their years of love and devotion to one another, or so we thought. But when the DNA results came back, that's when the drama truly began. What exactly did the test disclose that brought Chrissy into tears? But was it an error, a mistake, or is this a lot bigger story than anybody could have predicted? And more importantly, why does it feel like there's something odd about the entire situation? Here's the thing: when Jim Jones delivered the bomb regarding the DNA findings, no one expected this. It's one thing to have a minor glitch in family life, but this is a scandal that might transform the way others perceive them. The test was more than just a time of doubt. It was a devastating revelation that shook the whole family's foundation. And let me tell you, it didn't take long for the public to start connecting the dots and wondering what it actually meant. Of course, this wouldn't be a Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin story without a little drama, because what would the world be without a little bit of controversy? Right before we delve into the deep end, let's just pause and think about that. The essence of DNA test is intended to be straightforward, a scientific test that answers the question, is this child really yours? However, we all know that DNA tests may show more than just biological facts. They can expose family secrets, hidden relationships, and most importantly, they may generate firestorms of rumor and conjecture, which is exactly what we've got here. So, why did Jim Jones suddenly decide to release these results, and why did Chrissy reacting the way she did? Might there be something more going on than being told? Is this truly about a DNA test, or is it a well-timed distraction to cover up something much bigger? As the tension mounts and tears stream down Chrissy's well, one thing's for sure, this isn't just a simple issue of who's the father. No, this scandal is a lot deeper than that, and you best believe we're about to dive into all of the horrifying truths that have been thrown under the rug for much too long. But before we get into all of that, let's take a little time to speak about the history of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, what's actually behind their relationship, and how they got to this position in the first place. Now that we've covered the fundamentals, let's go a bit further into what's actually going on here. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's relationship has never been easy, to say the least, from their early days in the limelight until their very public ups and downs. These two have given us more drama than a season finale of your favorite reality show. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves what's going on with these DNA findings. How did we go from a family announcement to a tear-filled emotional breakdown that's now sending shockwaves across the media? Could this truly be just a mistake, or is there something considerably more sinister lurking beneath the surface now? If you've been following Jim and Chrissy for any amount of time, you'll know that they've never been shy about their personal lives. In fact, they've almost built a profession out of putting it all on show for the public. The reality programs to the Instagram postings, these two have been quite open about their connection. But when it comes to the DNA test, it's evident that there's something they weren't anticipating, or maybe it's something. We're trying to start with the facts, or at least the information we're getting, because it's all beginning to seem a bit fishy. Jim Jones, in all his splendor, triumphantly presented the findings of this extremely contentious DNA test to the public, and suddenly things took a turn in a dramatic surprise. He presented the test results, and just like that, Chrissy was brought to tears. We don't need to be specialists with body language to realize that her response wasn't only about figuring out if the child was Jim's or not. Oh no, there's more going on here, folks. The internet, as it always does, flew into a frenzy. Comment sections burst, Twitter was on fire, and social media was packed with people asking the integrity of the test. But here's the catch: no one seems to have the complete story. Why would Jim wait until now to disclose this bombshell? Was this all part of a deliberate ploy to garner attention, or was it simply terrible timing? Let's break down the emotions, shall we? It didn't take long for the conjecture to spin out of hand. Was Chrissy truly stunned by the findings, or was this all part of the performance? After all, Jim and Chrissy love to keep people on their toes, but this seemed much too personal for a promotional gimmick. While some fans rallied around Chrissy to express their support and offer words of consolation, others couldn't help but wonder whether there was a deeper, darker side to this reveal. Was Jim attempting to prove that he's the good guy in this whole issue, or was there something strange about the way the test results were handled? Anonymous sources, of course, began to the woodwork, claiming to have insider information about the couple's private lives. Some think Jim Jones may have known something all along that he didn't want the world to know just yet. And Chrissy, well, some reports imply she could have been horrified by what she witnessed, but could it be that she's going along with the drama for the benefit of her career and the family brand? And then there were the trolls. Oh yeah, you can always depend on the internet. For some people filled social media with memes and mocking remarks about the couple's emotional breakdown. Some even went so far as to imply that the entire event was planned for their next reality show. So why wouldn't it be appropriate? The responses were savage, but you have to admit they had a point. Is this all just one huge publicity hoax to keep the spotlight shining on Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin until the truly juicy stuff started to surface when we got our hands on some so-called leaked insider material, according to these sources who, let's be honest, could be anyone at this time? The DNA test wasn't only about the baby's paternity. Oh no, there were some severe concerns concerning the test's legitimacy. One anonymous source stated that the findings were delayed, generating unneeded drama that had the ability to distract from other difficulties Jim Jones had going on, another insider alleged. that Jim had spent a big money to make sure the test results came back as good as possible. Now you're probably thinking, who's disclosing these wild secrets? Is it truly a secret sour, or is someone simply searching for their 15 minutes of fame? Individuals close to the case have even speculated that Jim may have arranged this whole affair for the PR boost. Consider how much simpler it is to keep the focus on you when your personal life is breaking apart. The more dramatic the disclosure, the more people tune in. Yes, it could appear heart-wrenching at first, but was this a move planned to keep everyone talking? As one insider put it, the more tears, the more views. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have mastered the formula for success in the world of celebrity drama. And if we're talking about motivations here, let's not forget Chrissy's own past. This isn't the first time she's been in the news, but might it be the biggest splash yet? And what about Jim? He's no stranger to controversy himself, with all the ups and downs of their relationship. Does anybody actually believe that this DNA test wasn't part of their continuous drive for media domination? Now let's speak about the fallout, because oh boy, you know there's always some ramifications when these types of things go down. While Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are no strangers to controversy, and this latest discovery might have some severe repercussions for their relationship, brand, and perhaps their professions. Trust me, the story is far from done, and the fallout could be just as dramatic as the DNA test reveal itself. First, let's focus on the legal side of things. Think about how meticulously these celebrity connections are controlled. Every word, every appearance. Every step is planned to maximize attention, preserve the appearance of control, and, most crucially, create revenue. But what happens when things like a DNA test get public? If the findings turn out to be false or manipulated, might open the floodgates for a legal nightmare. Might this lead to lost cases over defamation? What about breach of trust? Chrissy Lampkin, who's been at Jim's side for years, may feel absolutely shocked by this entire issue. Imagine her finding out that the findings were tampered with. The damage to their personal and professional relationship would be disastrous. Speaking of damage, what about the emotional impact? You don't have to be at Chrissy's emotional breakdown was certainly an indication that something deeper is at play here, even though she may have been playing it up for the cameras. Do you think she's genuinely all right with the way things have unfolded? We've seen her weep in public before, but this time felt different. There was something almost manipulative about the entire affair. What happens when the truth comes out? Will Chrissy feel like her entire life has been a lie? Or will she double down and continue playing the role of the supporting girlfriend? Only time will tell, but mark my words, this emotional outburst is only the top of the iceberg. Then there's the public reaction. We've already spoken about the memes, sarcasm, and crazy conspiracy theories floating on social media, but let's take a step back and consider the real effects. These popular individuals rely on their reputations to be current. Consider how much Jim Jones has built his career on being raw, honest, and unapologetic. But how much of that will alter after this DNA test scandal? Some fans may turn against him, questioning his integrity, honesty, and ability to make decisions. After all, the public is fickle. One minute they adore you, the next they're seeking for someone to cancel. And what about Chrissy? How will this affect her brand? Chrissy Lampkin has developed a public image as a faithful spouse, a strong woman who stays by her boyfriend no matter what. But does this DNA test and her emotional reaction to it depict her as weak or naive? Maybe some people will regard her as a lady caught up in the drama, someone who's too emotional for the public eye, or maybe they'll see her as the victim in all of this, a woman who was pushed to her breaking point. It's going to be difficult for Chrissy to walk away from this with her image intact. In the world of celebrity, one misstep can send you into oblivion, and this one is a major one. Let's not forget about the money. Oh yeah, there's if Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have been playing the game of publicity and media manipulation for as long as they have, you better believe they know how to capitalize on controversy. What's next? A reality show about their stunning journey through the DNA drama. A tell-all book, a podcast where they hash it all out. Maybe Chrissy starts selling emotional support gear with slogans like "Trust the Process" or "Team Jim and Chrissy." But don't put it past them. These sorts of issues tend to produce commercial opportunities that you can't possibly conceive. The question is, will it work? Will this public spectacle end up helping their careers, implode, and leaving them with nothing? Now, let's speak about what may happen behind the scenes. If this whole DNA test problem is part of a wider, more premeditated strategy, there could be enormous financial consequences. What if Jim and Chrissy had been waiting for the appropriate opportunity to execute a trick like this to cash in? We've seen it time and time again. Celebs stir up drama, shed a few tears, and watch the money come in. Could this be a money-making scam disguised up as a genuine family moment? You know how this game is played. The more you keep people wondering, the more they stay hooked. And these two are no strangers to understanding just how to keep. Oh, but there's always the bad side to these things. What if the scheme backfires? What if the audience sees through the pretense and turns against them? We've seen it happen before with other superstars. One time, they're riding high, and the next thing you know, their reputations are in the mud. If people start doubting the legitimacy of the DNA test, the response could be significant legal challenges, financial woes, and public attention. Will Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin be able to recover if this whole scandal blows out in their faces, or will this be the end of their public lives as we know them? The questions keep piling up, don't they? And that's the beauty of it. There's so much ambiguity about what's actually going on behind the scenes, but one thing's for sure, this scandal has only just begun, and it's only going to get crazier from here. Whether it's the fallout from this DNA test may have us discussing for a long time, but one thing is certain, Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin have once again managed to capture the public's attention, and the findings are explosive. And just like that, we've reached the conclusion of this jaw-dropping saga. But before you go, we need to hear what you think. Is this whole DNA test scandal simply another PR trick? Or is there anything more going on here? Do you feel Chrissy Lampkin's emotional reaction is real? Or is she merely playing her role in a larger game? Let us know in the comments below, because your opinion means more than in any case. Don't forget to slam that like button if you're stunned by what you just heard. And make sure to share this video with everyone you know. Trust me, no one is going to want to miss. And if you haven't already click the subscribe button for more delicious, surprising updates, because we have more exclusive revelations come your way you won't find somewhere else. Hang around, and we will be returned soon with the truth you've been waiting to recall. The truth is out there, and we are the ones bringing it. To be tuned, be cautious, and always keep your eyes wide open, and see you in next one.